Ortho, surgery. That's it.
You got a problem?
We're just going to get on, do this.
Not scare and get you all sorted, all right?
John? John? Do you remember where you are?
King's College Hospital, London.
Thank God.
A major trauma centre.
Hit the curb, jackknifed onto the verge.
Have we got a good pulse? Have we got an output? You know?
And one of the busiest A&E departments in the world.
He will probably scream, but he won't remember.
No, stop! Ah!
A place where love,
Come on, sir.
Let's go.
Up you go.
No.
Yeah.
life,
There you go.
I love you.
I love you too.
and loss
It's all right.
unfold every single day.
Don't cry. And we'll make sure Mummy stays with you. Will you send her?
Right, who's not busy? Squeeze that.
We can't give up on her. Come on. We've got to be strong for Mum, if it is the last bit. Hey.
All the patients you're about to see were treated in one department.
Well done.
In just one 24-hour period.
I never cease to be amazed at the robustness of human beings. I love you. And the strength of their relationships. Love, it's a reflex. It's what you do. For many of the families, despite the devastation that they may be facing, they give unconditional love.
For me, says the chimpanzee. Don't just grab it, says the angry rabbit.
I like that story.
You?
It hurt to lock my phone. It's ridiculous. I need some pills.
Hiya. I'm in A&E with Billy. She had an accident in school and got rushed to hospital by ambulance. She's got a massive contusion on her head. They said she lost consciousness. I mean, hopefully they'll let us out and it'll be, you know, we'll be tucking into a bottle of wine in a couple of hours. King's A&E. Yeah. Thank you.
Adult red phone, 10 minutes. That's adult red phone, 10 minutes.
Laura is the nurse in charge of resus today. Her first patient is a 94-year-old man with breathing difficulties.
Hold on.
This is Dougie. He is 94. Georgia said today he had a sudden onset of DIB about 7 o'clock when she went up to give him his nap. He's at 5 milligrams of salbutamol and oxygen. Sat to about 92 now. And that's his ECG.
Okay, for the pain.
Douglas has come in with his youngest daughter. His emphysema and bronchitis have been deteriorating since this morning.
Started on amoxil and prednisolone. Okay, let's get some blood out of you, sir. All right, so big old needle coming up. Let me see if I can get your daughter in. Can your daughter come in?
Yeah.
Hi, my name's Chris, I'm one of the doctors. Do you want to come through, see your father?
Hello. My name's Laura, I'm one of the nurses. I'll be looking after your father.
Sylvie has been her father's full-time carer for over 20 years.
So that medication, I don't know if he has nebulizers at home.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the same
But
stuff.
he stopped taking it at the weekend and he's been back on it yesterday and today.
Okay.
He's on a set of steroids. He took some yesterday and today.
We're just about to give him some stronger steroids through this drip.
Oh, even though he's had some today?
Yeah. Because your relative is in hospital doesn't mean that you suddenly become redundant. And if you wash them every day at home or help them go to the toilet every day at home or brush their hair, who am I to take that power away from you and say, no, you need to sit there and I'll do that?
I've got quite a bit of, I say quite a bit, some tea and that down in today and some other liquid. Mm-hmm. But you tell him he's got to drink liquid and he won't. Sort of does the opposite to what you say he's meant to be doing.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
It is a trait of most A&E nurses to be able to just talk about anything to anybody. You have to be able to create relationships with patients and relatives really quickly so that they trust you and you can support them through whatever's going on. Is it just the two of you at home?
And a 20-year-old cat. Who doesn't know what the hell's going on at the moment, bless her.
She's doing well at 20?
Well, she's 20 and 2 months old. Bless her heart. My husband had died and I came up to look after Mum. When my mum died, I ended up staying and looking after Dad. It just suited. I don't actually look at it as taking care of someone. It's me dad, I'm his daughter. There's plenty worse, trust me, but he's a good one. Put your head back. Put your head back properly. That's it.
I don't like to go on the bed.
Well, hopefully we can go home in a while and I'll give you some chocky.
But my head is not
It's not what?
hurting anymore.
Doctor's going to come and have a look at you just to make sure that he's happy with the lump.
So, how old are you, Billy?
4.
4. Do you remember what happened?
Yeah.
Can you tell me?
Yeah, but I slipped over and bumped myself.
Oh dear, that's a shame. Where did you bang yourself? Where did you bump yourself? Which bit? Over there? Oh, can you remember banging your head? Can you remember falling on the ground and it going, ouch? Do you remember that bit?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad you can remember it. I'm not glad you hurt yourself.
The only thing... All right,
Mummy.
we will.
We might be able to let you go
Listen,
home.
I think we will go home because
Nice
Mummy's got
bed.
you some chocolate.
All right, let's have a little look. Can you see everything normally? Does it all look fine? Does Mummy look fine? Does she look normal?
She looks a bit stressed.
Funny. That's it. Is it sore anywhere in your neck? Does your neck hurt or you... Am I tickling you? I think that's all right, isn't it? Shall we sit you up? She's got no indication that there's any other damage going on in terms of examining her.
Yeah.
Just want to see her walk and make sure she looks like she's steady on her feet. And if you think she's behaving normally as well, that's the best indication for me that things are fine, because you know her better than I do, or anyone else probably anyway.
So, Incy Spider was on the water point
Right, come on then.
Sylvie's been joined by her neighbour Maria
Hello.
and older sister Heather.
You alright? Oh, where's glasses? In the bag. It's all right, he had a mask on just now, just left it on.
I love my dad. Too much for words. He's our centrepiece. Yeah. Right. You're still here then?
Sense of humour. I think them words were made for him. He'd do silly things where couldn't go on holiday, didn't have the money for that. So he'd take us on a long bus ride. And we're literally going round in circles. But we really thought we'd been on a good trip, you know. End up back up Crystal Palace grounds in the end, and it's walking distance.
I thought you might have gone home being fed up waiting for me to come back.
I'm going to see if I can find him a pillow to make him a bit more comfortable. Yeah.
Douglas is a highly decorated Second World War veteran who served in an elite commando unit.
These things are like gold dust, you know.
Dad's a very brave man, and definitely as they get older, they go to the garden party at Buckingham Palace.
Yeah? Okay.
And he had a good old conversation with the Princess Royal when he went, and I just think to myself, oh gosh, I hope he didn't tell her any jokes.
Some antibiotics into your drip and then some fluid so you don't feel quite so dry. One of my best friends sent me a card years ago that said on the front, "Nurses are angels in comfortable shoes." I've still got that at home. I thought it was quite funny. It made me smile. Okay. Right. If you see someone vulnerable, whether it's a baby or an adult who is unwell, you want to look after them and reassure them. I'll just be whizzing back and forth, getting him different medicines.
Did you have instant pain? Did
Yes.
you yeah. Turn your hand over.
Laura is the senior nurse in minors today.
I never really got on with resus and trauma because that's working with death and dying a lot. And I knew I couldn't do that forever. So it's all across here.
All
yeah.
there, and my finger is numb. My little
It's that
finger.
one. Not that numb.
It's not that numb. It's like if you move it,
It hurts.
Yeah.
There's always something a week that I haven't seen in 8.5 years at King's. Why did you trip over? What happened?
I think I tripped over the wedge shoe.
It is wedged, isn't it? I had a guy that slipped on a banana skin last week because he'd just left it on the living room floor. Why would you leave it on the living room floor? I don't know. But anyway, he slipped on a banana skin.
I just kind of, as I do, stumbled and fell. But
How much you had to drink just for health reasons? I like the characters. I think that's the best. It's not always the injury of the patient, it's the character of the patient that you enjoy. So have a seat, Midge. And
Sit
Midge's
in the
friend.
corner.
Midge's mate.
Yeah. I'll be fine, I'll just stay.
Yes, lovely, thanks. Let me just draw the curtains. So my name's Laura, I'm one of the nurse practitioners. How can I help you?
Pretty much hit a punching bag like thing. A narcade game where you hit it.
Oh, okay, yep.
This morning it's all swelled up and
So
I
this
can't
morning
really
you did
do
it?
I did it yesterday,
Did it
but
yesterday.
overnight it just seemed to have swelled up and
Did it hurt at the time?
Yeah. And pretty much.
He didn't make much of a fuss after it happened. He said it hurt, and
Must have whacked it really hard.
Yeah.
You're trying to beat your personal best.
he got the highest score.
You got a top score though. It's all worth it. Do you want some painkillers?
Yes, please.
You had any today?
No.
Nothing. Okay. Get your painkillers. Let me order the X-ray. Now, what kind of stuff do you want? Do you want some codeine? You all right with codeine and paracetamol?
Codeine, yes.
Does that work for you? Okay, let me get those.
What does A&A stand for?
So it looks like he may well have a chest infection. So he may well be staying in overnight. Blood tests, X-ray, usual.
He's had a habit of exaggerating sometimes, and I've got to the point I don't know what part is crying wolf and what isn't.
Yeah. You're not smoking anymore, are you?
He hasn't smoked for about 4 or 5 years.
Good, well done.
I do.
You need to stop then.
At the moment I can't because it's making me a nervous wreck.
Okay.
I've been saying to him he's going to cry wolf too often and I'm not going to know what's real and what ain't.
He's nearly 95. He has to rely on Sylvie. As you get older, you revert back being a baby virtually, and you want the attention. So yeah, it's like he is the child.
Gonna take your picture, Dad?
This young man, just gonna pop a hard ball behind your back. Quick X-ray, then I'll leave you in peace, okay?
An X-ray will reveal how serious Douglas's chest infection is. At 94, it could be life-threatening.
He's the nicest, stubborn fool I've ever met in my life. But I've done a lot of looking after, and because it can be hard. And me being an amputee, I've had troubles myself. I was doing my mum and dad's garden, and I got carried away and I literally tripped over a garden rake, and the ankle fractured in 3 places. In the end, because of the fractures, it put a disease into the leg. So I carried the leg around on crutches for 3.5 years. And thank God they finally cut the leg off. So I'm back trying to walk in a leg again. But I'll do it. Even if it's just to keep up with Dad.
First name, John?
Not Stephen.
Oh, sorry. You look like a John, see, Steve. Sorry about that, mate.
69-year-old Steve has fallen off a chair and injured his shoulder. He's come into A&E with his partner and daughter.
Can we go home? Oh, Carol, all right, no, he'll be right here, right? He'll do everything he wants to.
When I first met him, he was wearing a wig. And it wasn't until I was dancing with him and he was rocking and rolling, and he was just twisted around and I could see the 2 flaps of the hair going up. And I just melted. I couldn't stop laughing. And when I came home that night, I threw it down the toilet. I said, "That's it. You're bald, that's it."
There you go.
Thank you very much.
You want to black him up, do you?
I don't need one. I'm hot enough. Oh, he used to dress really well. Yeah, he stood out.
We started off in Peckham, didn't we?
Yeah, we are still in Peckham, Stephen.
Oh, no. Oh, we're still in Peckham, yeah.
Yes, dear. He was a right old charmer, yeah. Charmed the birds of the trees, he would. How are you feeling?
Huh?
How are you feeling?
Oh, it's fucking awful.
Want a drink of water, right?
No, I've got a funny.
Huh?
I've got a funny, like a headache.
Got a bad headache?
No, I didn't. I want a headache. I had a headache. What am I here for? What am I here for? Could you tell me what am I here for?
Relax, right?
Tell me what am I here for?
For the results of an X-ray now. The results of an X-ray.
Oh.
You're freezing with the cold.
I want my man in. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about my legs at all. Nothing. I don't know why you brought me up here for what. I don't know what. I'm going to pay my hand anyhow.
Big pain.
Una was a widow with 2 young children when she met Steve 38 years ago.
A lot of men would run for the hills. He didn't. I always said the door was open, and if you ever want to go through it, let me know. Don't cheat on me. If you cheat on me, you're a dead man. He was a very good father to them. They called him Dad. Where's the little doctor? Oh, there he is. Hi.
Hi, Stephen. I've just gone through with your X-ray. There is the small fracture on your shoulder.
Yeah.
The bone on this side, actually like here, has like broken into 3 small pieces as such. That's the reason why you're having so much pain. If you leave it like that, there are chances that it might cause problem in the future. I don't want you to have any further problem with your shoulder.
Oh, you know I'm too fucking old now, anyhow.
Yeah. So I just put the sling on so that you can just keep your hand supported if it's possible for you, okay? I'll just show you the x-ray. Can you come with me?
There you go, down the hatch. Now, do you want a proper sling? Well, when I say proper sling, kind of made an NHS emergency sling. I do like some of the practical stuff, like I love suturing and plastering. So just make sure the whole arm and the wrist is actually hanging in the sling, not outside. Perfect. And dressings and wounds, because that is really nursey, isn't it? Gwyneth, do you want to see your x-ray? I'm afraid it's not good news. It's a broken bone. Some patients love to chat. Elderly have always got stories, haven't they? And they've always got time. They're never in a rush because they, you know, probably don't want to go home really to an empty house or the cat. Do you need any help socially at home with? Do you want to be referred at all to your poor husband? You always kind of try and think, what if that was my sister, mum, husband, friend?
This thing keeps coming out your nose. Yeah. Is that all right? Yeah. Okay.
I'm caught up with the crutches, it's all right.
It is like having a child, isn't it?
And he's been playing me like a fiddle quite a bit. Every now and again, he'll exaggerate because he doesn't want to do something. And I thought he was putting some of it on. And normally I get it spot on. And I didn't this time.
Why are you beeping now? Jesus.
You all right? Okay. Are you feeling all right? All right. His heart rate's gone very high. Now it's come back down. Must be my presence. Okay. Oh well, nothing to panic about. It just took me by surprise, that's all. Hello, King's A&E. Yeah. Adult red phone, 5 minutes. That's adult red phone, 5 minutes.
Laura's next patient is a 97-year-old man with life-threatening problems.
Unfortunately, I now know there is a massive spectrum in the way you can die. It can be very peaceful and comfortable. I think that's the nicest way you can go. And that's very difficult to recreate in an A&E department.
This is 97-year-old Hector. He's from the nursing home down the road. It says here he's got pseudo-obstruction, anal stricture, prostate cancer, and he's blind in the left eye.
Okay, what was his name again?
Hector.
Hector.
Hector's airway is in danger of collapsing and his blood pressure is dangerously high.
Hector, do you know where we are? You're in hospital. And we're doing everything we can to sort you out, okay? I know you are.
My nana, when she was very unwell and dying, had problems with her breathing. And she was on the similar machine to Hector. And although Hector wasn't awake enough to tell me that he found it scary, my nan was when she was really ill. So I was really aware of how scary it can be to have that machine put on you.
Hiya, like I said, my name is Dr. Rao. I'm one of the medical registrars here. Can you hear me?
Douglas's X-ray has revealed that his condition needs close monitoring.
And how are you related to it?
Daughters.
Okay. You don't mind if your daughter's hanging around when I'm speaking to you, is that alright?
It'd be best because he won't hear much of what you say. He's a bit mutton chair.
Right. What brought you into the hospital?
Couple of weeks. I've been a bit upsy-dumpsy, and I've been hallucinating and things like that.
Now, it's the first I've heard about the hallucinating, because he's not mentioned that at home.
Okay, now, I've had a look at the X-ray. It appears that you've got a nasty pneumonia on your left side, okay? Yeah, you've got some changes in relation to your bronchitis and emphysema, but the pneumonia part is new. So what I'm going to do is, basically you need to definitely come into the hospital and stay with us, okay?
Has he got this because I've not looked after him?
You have looked after him, don't do that. You've done nothing wrong, don't you dare.
I don't think you should feel, I don't see any reason why you should feel guilty.
I felt responsible for him. He relies on me, and I just feel I let him down. We found out in the end that he had double pneumonia and his kidneys were collapsing, and they told us he probably, wouldn't last a week. It was like all my nightmares coming through at once. I can't be without him, you know? There's just something about him. Everyone says, oh, their dad's this and their dad's that. But they ain't met him, you know? I don't let him know.
Yeah, but I can have a go to the toilet. Oh, I have to go to the toilet. I want to go to the toilet.
Stephen, I really want a nurse just to get you down off the bed.
What's she going to do? I'm not going to piss in the bottle. Don't tell her that I'm not going to do that.
Excuse me. Hello. I need a nurse. He wants to go to the toilet.
Nurse is right there.
I'm so busy looking after him. I forget you forget about yourself, you know. It's just like if you have a child, you don't think about you. That child is number one, isn't it?
Yeah, don't want to do it.
I don't want a bottle. No, I don't want it. I want to
walk.
Yeah, I want to go to the toilet. I would just want to go to the toilet.
Are you sure?
I'm not dead yet.
No, we need that in the sling.
You need what?
Your arm in the sling. I can put a new one.
Oh. Yeah, I'm all right, mate. I think I am, anyway.
Are you going to fall?
No, I won't fall. I won't fall, mate. I won't fall, mate. No way will I fall.
It's amazing.
Come on now, come on. Oh.
Put your arm on.
Steve worked as a plumber until 4 years ago, when he was hit by a motorbike while crossing the road.
Yes, you will.
Oh.
Which way's the toilet?
It's behind the wall.
You come with me.
Where is it? Oh.
The accident took everything away from him. He hasn't got a car now because he can't drive it. And he's woke. He's still got multiple fractures in the back. And the 11 pins on his legs and plates.
Just wait your take your time, don't go on your own.
He's only a shell of the man he used to be. You know. And on top of that, he's got dementia.
You can fall down downstairs, you fell in the front room.
Oh, the front room, yeah, but I just slipped over the fucking... I know what I do, I know what it is. I know what it is. I'm going to be all right, I'm not going to die, am I?
He likes a drink. He likes wine, red wine. Yes. I give him a bottle a day. It used to be 2 bottles, but I had to stop that. It was too much.
Your bones can't take you falling over.
I know,
So stop drinking.
Now, some days I miss out because I can't remember whether he had it or not. And I say, yeah, you did.
I've spoken with the orthopedics team. They have reviewed the x-ray and they have suggested me to refer him to the fracture clinic as such so that it can be seen and further treatment will be given.
So you go home?
Yes, you're going home finally, but you have to come back after 2 days.
How many days?
Tuesday. 2 days. On
2 days, yeah.
Okay. I'll come back to you.
Have you ever found caring for him too much?
No, not really. I'll look after him as long as I can. What can you do? Stick him in a home? No. No, that's not an option.
See you, mate. Look after yourself. Ta-ra.
Heather's going to go up to the ward with you. Right, so we'll know where you'll be.
I think everyone should care for each other. Dad might not still be here if Sylvie wasn't there 24/7.
Right. All right, see you tomorrow. Do as you're told.
Always.
There's an awful lot of people who are in my position have got nobody at all. But over and above that, they'd be extremely lucky to get somebody like Sylv.
In our family, we always get on with it, regardless of what it is. I reckon that's the commando. Dad being the ex-commando, and it's rubbed off on a lot of us.
I'm just taking the mask off, sir. What's wrong?
I want her to phone word as well. And get on to my grandson. I think that.
Okay, we'll try get a hold of him, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Asking him to call his grandson.
I can ring his grandson. Anybody who's alone when they come in and they're very unwell, you are aware of that added vulnerability. Hello, Hector. They've got nobody to stay with them and comfort them and reassure them like a family member normally would. So you take on that role probably much more than you would if they were surrounded by family. I will.
He reckons the key to long life was obviously to live a decent life. He said, make sure you eat your porridge.
Would you like to lie on this side?
Yeah, for a while.
And do you know what? I've been eating it, and I'm on it. And I'm telling you, I've noticed since I've been eating porridge that my memory's getting a lot better.
If you put this hand over there, you can pull yourself over. Or is it easier just to shuffle?
He was a foreman at a sugarcane factory in Jamaica, and so he was a working guy and part of the Windies that come over back in the 50s, 60s. You know, he certainly made England his home. But he did say, I've got to confess to you, Glenn, when West Indies play England, I want the West Indians to win.
Hector's blood pressure has come down and he's breathing more evenly again.
Mr. Buchanan. Hello, sir. Yeah. Hi, my name is Dr. Rao. I'm one of the medical registrars here. Just let me have a quick listen to your chest, sir. All right?
Yeah.
Still got a few crackles, but not.
He has no.
Okay. And just reduce breath sounds. Okay. Hector.
Yes.
What we think has happened is that we think that you had a minor heart attack. Okay, and that's why the blood flow through your lungs has slowed down considerably.
Yeah.
I think that's what made you very breathless, and that's what sort of created all this scenario before you came into the hospital. Despite our maximum treatment, if things don't improve, things have improved dramatically. I'm not expecting them to go downhill, okay? But just in the event, if things go downhill, has somebody at any point of time discussed as to what needs to be done, like try and jump and try and restart your heart? Have you thought anything about that?
No.
Okay.
No. No,
Okay.
sir.
Well, if I say that we will do whatever is possible, but if it comes to an extent where things have gone quite downhill, okay, and if your heart stops or breathing stops, and it's not the best idea for us to try and jump and restart your heart, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I understand.
So what I'll do is I'll put you on for active treatment, and I'll also make a decision that should things go downhill, then we won't try and jump and restart your heart at that point of time. Is that okay?
Yes.
Is that reasonable?
Yes.
Good man. Okay?
Right, Hector.
You've been brilliant.
We'll pop this mask back on for a little while, okay?
Yeah.
I don't think he was ever frightened of death. I don't think he knew he was loved.
Yeah?
I think he knew his life was coming to an end.
All right.
I was going to see what I had in the freezer to cook you something for tomorrow night.
Oh no, I'm going out tomorrow.
Oh, you are? Oh, I don't need to worry then. When you go out to dinner like that, you like a glass of wine, don't you? Well, I do. That's what I was going to ask Chris to bring over, a box of that wine. Mine's getting a bit low.
They did an X-ray.
I've got this for you.
What's this? Just crutches.
What? So what? Say that again?
Do I get one or two? Crutches suck.
My blood didn't look very red, it looked... I suppose it's getting a bit old and stale.
It's been pumping round there for a long time.
Should we wheel you over? Wheel you over.
Yeah, I might last.
"93-year-old Peggy has come in with her son after falling and hurting her leg.
Peggy? Hi there, I'm Charlotte, I'm one of the nurses. I'm just going to come and clean your leg up, okay?
Yeah.
So how did this happen?
I was getting in a taxi.
In a taxi?
Yeah, and I hit my leg. I fell and I hit my leg on the everything that came out. Not very pretty.
Well, you made a good job of that, didn't you?
I certainly did. Didn't want to waste your time.
Are you allergic to anything?
No. Only nurses washing your leg.
Did you just lose your balance?
I think I must have done.
Yeah.
No, I hate getting in those black cabs. I just had a nice day, a nice meal, and I was so pleased to be going home. I walked away and they said, oh, look at all that blood coming down.
Oh, really?
I didn't think I'd...
You had some tights on there, didn't you? That's
Stockings. Mm-hmm.
That would have helped a lot.
Yes.
All finished?
Oh, lovely.
Job done.
Job done.
Well done.
You've made a jolly good job of it.
I hope so. I hope that heals nicely.
Hector, I've got another pillow for you. Should we put it here?
And there's a reason I remember Hector, and I don't remember everybody that has come into resus in the past 4.5 years.
How's that?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I felt like I'd done proper nursing and he was getting better. And the luxury of time I had with him as well, because he needed to sort of have one-to-one nursing. That's not what every person who comes into resus needs, so he stood out from that point of view, and that's probably why I remember him more.
In 20 minutes, I'll ring Glenn, because it's a normal time in the morning to be up by then.
Yeah,
And I'll say to him, I'll ask him if he could pop in.
that's great.
Okay?
That's great news, thank you.
Okay. I'm going to turn the lights off for you.
Okay.
There you are. Then maybe you can get a little bit of shut-eye.
Yeah.
Okay. It won't be too long. We just have to wait for your blood results and do another little test in a few minutes, and then hopefully we can get you somewhere more comfortable.
Yeah.
All right. He does, doesn't he? He looks so much better. Hello, is this Glenn? Good morning. I don't want to alarm you. This is one of the nurses from King's College Hospital Emergency Department. We've got your granddad in with us. Yeah. So he was brought into us last night. It seems like he's had a heart attack. He came in and he was incredibly poorly, but he's a lot better now, sitting up and talking and asking us to call you. Okay, no problem. All right, thank you very much. Okay, bye. He was awake, taking the kids to school. Hector? I've just spoken to Glenn.
Yeah.
He's going to come in and see you.
Yeah.
But he's got to take the children to school first.
Yes. Yeah.
So he said it'd be an hour or so.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for everything you've done for me now.
That's okay.
What time are you going home?
About an hour.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bye.
Okay. All right. I'll leave you in peace.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Bless him. My nan died last week.
Oh, babe.
Just a bit. Like, it's all just a bit much. And then I haven't had any sleep, and my coffee table's broken.
My nana, when she was really unwell, I was going to meet my boyfriend at the time's parents for the first time. And this is probably one of the last conversations I had with my grandma. And Mum had said to her, oh, Laura's going away this weekend, rah, rah. And Grandma said to me, I'll give you one piece of advice, dear. And I said, oh, yes. She said to me, his mother will never like you.
I've got 4 children still. I've got 17 grandchildren and 19 great-grandchildren. I'm dead chuffed for them all.
And if my son's half the man he was, I'd still be happy.
What would you say to Hector if you see him again?
Hello, you old git.
You're next, yeah.
Unwitnessed fall off a roof. He has a traumatic brain injury.
There's very little happening. I mean, they're not busy, are they?
No. We're getting a little bit full now.
How's your chefing skills?
It's all right.
Do you just want to go over there and look after him? The old man.